Rambo kill, la 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 doodle yellow bug.
I triple dog dare you!
It's a really complicated setup there, UCI, the way I got it going. And if anything changes on stuff, so yeah, I'll have to figure that out this week of what's going on. Here's what I came up with. Littlefoot's bill there. Still gonna put the footprints in. Turned out all right. Sure, he'll enjoy it. But yeah, I'm gonna this is how I usually hang out on Sunday while I'm watching everybody stream. So I'm gonna let the music flow, and I'm gonna go get the coins. I'm gonna blast through some quarters and some straps and take time to talk to some people here and there, do some live, giveaways, people live in chat. But you can have me in a little box there in the corner, watch Copper Owl same time. Not really trying to stream over him, but this is the only time I have to stream. The rest of the week has been really busy, and I kind of want to, share some of the hunt that I've had. So you guys can groove to the music a little bit, hang out, talk to each other, and I will be right back shortly. Thank you. Got the 2 boxes of quarters, a box of nickels. Depends on how many people we have in the stream. We may turn it and do some battles. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Be right back. these are from the box I searched last night. Show you guys what I found. Did find a proof. Found a bunch of really nice strike through grease coins. Move this up a little bit. So that was, and then if you check that one out there, looks like it's a plated quarter. Ooh, don't flop on me. So we did find, last night did find a 62 silver. Did find that. And we found an 81S proof quarter in the mix. And we found, oh, I haven't seen any. And then check that one out. It's must be plated or something. Looks all silver on the side. So that's the first thing I do when I push the quarters out. You know, I look at the edges just to make sure. So we found those three were cool finds. And then here's a fine example of the overused dies. I told you about how the halo around the edge of the coin, come on. You can see how it's all kind of muddled all around the edges there. There you go. That's just where the dies are getting completely worn out. I believe this one also has a I did find a good, I don't know if that one was it or not. Did find a really good example of the doubled windows. So here's a good example of strike through grease that I found last night. If you look all that behind the neck and Liberty, you see those dark blotches. There you can see it a little bit right there. That's a strike through grease. Very common on these Kansas quarter. You see right there that blotch up behind the bison. Pretty common on these. You see how it goes all across his face right there. This point it out here. This whole area right here is a strike through grease blotch. If it shows, there it goes, shows up. Generally, when I find these, they're in pretty good condition. So if you look right back here, all this blotch, this whole blotch, and it kind of goes up into the eagle. Strike through grease area there. Same thing, this one's not as distinct, but you can see right here, all down into the neck. Kind of shows up right there. Then you can see it all behind the cowboy. So this whole area here, 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 and here, it's all strike through grease. Just have to kind of roll them in the light a little bit. Here's another one, really a lot of strike through right there. You can see it all in front of the face, top of the head, behind the head. I mean, it's got a massive, this whole area here, this big blotch right here, blotches right there. Another Kansas quarter. I mean, you can see the whole area of this all was strike through grease, all back behind there. What else we find? Just a couple of nice examples. Good cartwheel on that one. Very nice. Moon. Another one with a nice cartwheel on it. There was a little mark on the head there you can see up here, but generally a nice coin. The ones that are a little bit nicer I tend to hold on to. Let's see here. This one's another kind of a grease strike on a 97. So it's kind of grease and worn out die. You can kind of see the halo right here. And if you look real close, you can kind of see the striated lines. But generally good condition. If you can still see the little dimples up here in the top of the wing, it hasn't seen much circulation. Pretty nice on that one. And then the rest of these are just all, like, I call them tier 1 error coins. You know, the nicer ones of the bunch that I found. Let's see what we got here. So generally on those Kanaka Ole quarters, I'll look right here on the K and the A for, see how right there on the K looks like a spot's missing. That's where the grease has filled the die. You gotta get a little drop out of the letters. There's one with a die chip top of the wing, top of the plane wing up here. Big old die chip. We'll be fine on this one. Probably the same thing. Die chip on top of the wing. Yep. There. What else we got here? Got your good old Roosevelt. You can always count on them for something. A little booger in the nose right there. These are pretty common errors. But I mean, that's generally that coin's in pretty good shape for the year. Tall cheap quarters, you want to look for those die chips in the ponytail. One there's probably another one behind it. Yeah. You want to look for those die chips right there in the back of the ponytail. Found a couple of those. Then I go back, and any quarters that this one I'm going to weigh it up because it may be missing a clad layer. Not quite sure. I can see it a little bit. It might just be post-mint damage. And found couple of nice bicentennial quarters. That one's got a little bit of a contact right there on the cheek, but other than that, generally good condition. You know, nice clean fields. I look for clean fields on the coins if I'm considering holding on to them. Let's see what we got here. Just you know, some of the nicer examples. Colorado. What do we got here? That one is a Utah. That's a nice 2010. 2010, 11, and 12 are kind of your lower mintage coins. I mean, that's a really good condition. 2010 Mount Hood. I'll definitely be keeping that one. What's this one? I know one of these had a really good example of the doubled windows. And that's not it. And we had a decent 88. Still has some mint luster left on it. What's up, Judge? Del Brett? What's going on? kind of just a relaxed hangout, nothing too awful crazy. I have some boxes I have to get through, so I can take them back to the bank and get some more. That's just kind of highlights of that first box. Generally, when I go through a full box, I'll end out with, you know, a full roll of nice errors. You know, this one did have that silver in it, the 62. And it did have the proof, 81S proof. And then it had that, I don't know what that's been covered with. Guess we could weigh it real fast and see. Hold on, let me get my scale. Check it out and see what we got. I got a couple. You can find these for less than 20 bucks on Amazon. I got a couple of them. I keep one upstairs, one downstairs. So, a little heavier. The nominal weight on these is 5.67. So slightly heavier than your silver. That's your silver quarter right there. And there's our proof. A little light on the proof, actually. Little light. Let's just grab another one here to see. Guess my scale's just a little off. Yeah, see, there's around where you should be. That's dead on right there. But that's an uncirculated condition quarter, pretty much. You know, so it's spot on those. But like, yeah, when I first started going through coins, I would almost weigh every single coin, pulling out all the light planchets. That takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. But people that are just starting, I would advise go ahead and do that, so you can kind of, you'll actually kind of calibrate your hands and your fingers, and you can almost, especially with the larger coins, you'll be able to feel it in your hand and not even have to use a scale, and just once you go through so many of them. But let's see here. Let me hit the bot and see what we got. I have no idea what's up with all my other applications. Show I'm connected and I can trigger the commands through the application, but they're not popping up. So
I triple dog dare you!
See, I mean, I can trigger them on my end, but I don't know what's going on. Yeah, just, you know, UCI, once you go through so many of them, you'll kind of, and you can almost do it, I mean, obviously by, you know, if you're, you know, raking the coins, like you see the guys in $50 hunts when you're listening for that. That's what the silver sounds like, that odd clank. So a lot of the $50 hunters, you know, they'll just, when to take them out, they'll go real quick, and you can almost pick it out by ear, and that'll help you, because a lot of, you know, you guys watch the $50 hunts, they, you know, sometimes you can't tell by looking at the edge of the coin. It'll kind of fool you. But let me I don't even know if my Nightbot's up and running. We'll check it out here and see. I honestly don't know why some of these things don't connect, but we will see. Let's see if this active chatter. Let's see if my Nightbot's even connected. Let's try that. Next. See, it says chat unavailable right there. I have no clue why. Hey, here we go. How about that? So the Nightbot's actually working. So Nightbot will be running in the background, as you all know. We'll just collect names of people actively chatting, and then periodically I'm just going to jump over to it and grab a name to win. So once I get a list of people here, we'll pull some names. See, now Now the chat's disappeared. We got Inmarsh, Moon, MJD, but my chat's gone. So who knows? We'll see if it'll collect names as we're going. Because I had to, my OBS was acting up and I had to kind of reload it. There's chat. Chat came back. Cool. There we go. Got chat coming in. Let's see. So now I got Inmarsh, Moon, MJD, Coin Around, Ron Pierce, UCI, VMC. Alright, that'll work. So, I got some names right here. There's Judge, Perry Martin. Alright. So we got UCI, Moon over Miami, Ron Pierce, Inmarsh, and Pointing Around. Alright. So. Boom. Boom. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, who was the first name I pulled? UCI. UCI, you got a choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. UCI, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You call 5. There we go. UCI. I knew it was the second one. Moon, Moon, you got 1 through 4. Moon, 1 through 4. If he's jumped out of stream, we'll just do Inmarsh, you as well. You got 1 through 4. Whoever you or Moon replies first. You'll get choice. Then who else did I have in there? Coining Around Ron Pierce. So anyway, Coining Around Ron Pierce, Inmarsh or Moon. Whoever calls one of these first, it's yours. If not, we'll just do UCI, UCI, UCI. Ron Pierce 3. Ron Pierce 3. Coining Around 2. I should have known that one. Coining Around 2. Inmarsh says 1. Right. And then Moon will get that one if he pops back in. The judge is like 3. I'll try. I'll try it. Judge, you might get it. Who knows? If Moon doesn't pop back in and claim it, I'll give it to you. How about that? Give him a minute. Give him a minute. We've been doing pretty good on the star notes. On some of these straps. This is the last 5 of the straps I've had from earlier. Do them upside down so I don't see what's going on as well. I like to be surprised by them too. If I knew what was coming up, it's not much of a surprise for me. Right. Oh, I don't see Moon popping back in, so Judge, that one will be yours. Congrats. Thanks for being here. Sorry, Moon. You guys know my rules. Must be present to win. So I know other people are streaming. You can jump back and forth. I used to do the same thing. Pop in and out, but you got to be focused on 2 streams. Sometimes you miss something. So, UCI, let's do this. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Find something interesting that I don't need, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, it'll be replaced with something of your choice that I offer up. luck. Here we go. Hey, Judge, you gave it a try and you got it. Right there, that'll be you. I'll put your name on it. How about that? But you're gonna be the 5th one of the stack, so you either be listening or hanging out when I call your name. Otherwise, I'll draw another name. No sweat off my brow. Streaming's a tough life for a lot of people. I'm just, this is the time I have to do it. So I'm sorry if I step on somebody's toes, but this is the time I got it, and I want to share the experience with people. And I believe the live streaming it is a little more interactive than just me making a video of me going through straps. So, a little more fun. Being the live aspect to me is a little more fun. So let's see what we can find here. Let's see if anything good. Obviously, I'm human, so I may miss something. So throw up some stop signs. If I miss something, throw them up. The stop signs, or call me out with the @ symbol in chat, just like UCI did. The orange kind of pops up quick for me, and I can see my name, and I know something's going on. If I'm looking here and looking, I got a little chat. I'll show you how I have my setup here going. I have so I got one screen to my left that has the Nightbot running, that I can watch that chat. But I also have so here's what my OBS setup looks like. Let's see here, do the properties, screen. So, display. And we'll throw that over here. So, this is obviously, as you can see here, this is what my setup looks like. So, this main window in the center is what's being broadcast out. So, that's the broadcast out window. Over here on the left side are some of the sound effects I can use, for myself. Like, if I can click. What's my name? Victory trumpets, I can click that stuff. Down here on the bottom left are all my scenes. And scenes, inside of those scenes, we have sources. So we're on my main scene right now. Display capture that you see highlighted is right here. So I'm capturing the display of the entire screen. I can turn that off and on. So each one of these elements is something that's happening on the screen. And the ones that are not highlighted, no, I don't care. 12 people's fine with me. 12 that want to be here and watch is good. I'll be happy if 2 people were watching, or 1. I'm good with it. Then here's your background, everything else. Here's my audio mix that I can do the turn the music up and down right here. As you see, the level goes down, you can't hear it, so I turn it up just a little bit so it's popping there. These are over here are the transition controls. Here are the controls as well, as far as I can stop streaming in the broadcast. I can turn on a virtual camera, and then if I click studio mode, it'll split this part up here into 2. So that way I can actually transition from one scene to another seamlessly. I mean, I'm not too concerned about all that. And then over here on the right hand side is the live chat that's drawn from Full House. Stop Full House. I see what you're saying. I don't really look at them that way, Judge. So here's my live chat here, and like I said, on the left hand screen is chat over there. So this is what I am looking at. This display is what I'm looking at while I'm streaming. I can't really see much else. What's going on. So when I'm broadcasting, what I see right here in that little center is what you guys are seeing. So that's why I depend on here. I know you are, Vinny. Yeah, it's streaming is so that it's kind of more difficult for me to do it that way. I mean, I could go Streamlabs, StreamYards, and they take care of all that. They like bundle Streamlabs is based on this OBS software that I'm using. It's kind of a dummied down version of the OBS, kind of a user-friendly OBS. But me using OBS directly, yes, I lose the ability to recover instantly from if something goes down, that I can come right back up, because like StreamYards will offer the service of kind of buffering the stream and saving it as it goes. So it would keep streaming while I was trying to recover in the background, and you guys wouldn't know anything was going on. So yeah, that's one part of their service that, you know, you could buy into. I don't know if you got to buy into that part or if it's free. I'm unsure. But with me doing OBS by myself, I control every aspect of it. I can control, you know, I don't have to, I can use all my own stuff. So I like having that ability. Yeah, I may have to reboot everything, but I'll do that later. I'm not gonna do all that now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know. I'm beyond the point of, you know, like when I first started streaming and stuff wouldn't work, I was like, oh no, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? Now I just roll with it. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The base premise of the stream is still going, you know, so it's all just to kind of share my finds and stuff with you guys. So as we go, I mean, I could sit here and not stream at all, go through all 5 of these straps and all my boxes, and then post a video later of the finds, but this seems a little more fun to me. 1186, 1181, nah. Because I like, you know, for those rare moments that we do find something cool, you know, I'm like, whoa, you know, everybody else, you know, is experiencing it at the same time too. So 111s, 88s, and the nicer notes that we find, you know, during the hunt that don't have creases and folds, I'll toss those to the side for future forget-me-notes that we'll give away. Like I said, there's the forget-me-note I did for Littlefoot yesterday. Still need to put in the footprints. Yeah, you need the star. I even created a little background. Hold on, screen's gonna go black. But I did create a excuse me. And then that would pop up over, you know, the base thing. But yeah, later I may try to do the full reboot and get it all to connect back up. Because last week it was acting kind of wonky, and I had to strip a lot of the program stuff out of the OBS to get it to work. The Stream Elements, that's another service, Stream Elements. When there's 333s. Stream Elements kind of integrated itself into the OBS program way too much for my liking. I mean, it actually like changed buttons and stuff on the side, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. Here's a nice 95. So that is a find, UCI. You'll be a winner. Congrats. 666s. There's an LD. I was keeping the nicer LD notes for Lisa D. I know she likes them. There's a quad 1. So I'll compare this with my collection. As you guys know, I collect by the series. The Fed Reserve Bank identifier, they're the first letter. And then the block would be the last letter. So I'll compare that with my collection to see if I have a 95 I and I. If I don't, that'll go into a stack of older notes that I'll be selling. That's pretty cool. One, a triple, a double, and a double. We'll set that to the side. There's another. There's 5 of a kind. That's a pretty good one. We'll set that over there. Don't find those very often. Man, there's a lot of doubles and doubles in here. Maybe the next 2 straps will, I love the baby shark. Oh, I have to hear the stupid song. We can all sing it together, Tupac. Where is my baby shark? He's hiding around here somewhere. Hold on. Maybe we can set him up in the stream here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Since Tupac called him out. There he is. Hi, Tupac. I love you even though you don't love me. Kisses for Tupac. Haha. I don't know. I think it might even, I think there's a button somewhere. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Oh, lucky you, the batteries are dead. I don't know. Could you guys hear that? Kind of tough. He sings and he so if you put him in the bathtub, the contacts here, the water will do the contacts like right there on the side, so sings a little song for you. Secretly, I know Tupac likes Baby Shark. He can come off and say all he wants how he hates Baby Shark. Baby Shark's cute. Sorry, that will not be a giveaway. That's my grandson's. I don't even know where we got it, to tell you the truth. It just showed up one day. So thus started the Baby Shark phenomenon in my house. And my love for my grandson overtakes the hate for the song over and over and over. LG, that's a pretty nice note. I'll check that against my collection. In the last stream, I talked about, you know, for people that are collecting currency, about how sharp and strong the ink is, the paper quality. You know, if you're considering sending something in, they're all aspects that you would have to consider, because grading is not cheap, whether it be currency, coins. Because you can think, oh man, you've got the greatest coin in the world. It's, oh man, look how beautiful it is. And you got to do your homework, because you'd be wasting your money most of the time sending them in. I have, personally, myself, I have only, yeah, exactly. Family first. Personally, I have only sent one coin in to be graded. And it was, my rule is I don't even break coins out of proof sets or anything. But this was a, I want to, without looking, I believe it was, I pulled a Benji out of a 1957 proof set because I believed it had enough cameo to grade well, and it did. It was a MS67 cameo, and I sent that to CAC for grading. First time I'd sent a coin, and I used their service. So ECI, you had one that scored. Let me reach underneath here and see what we got for you. See what we have here in the vault, the prize vault. See if we can find something cool. Let's see here. So I create boxes, you know, just stuff. You can make boxes on your own. Just tape them up like that. Make them the right size to hold your stuff. Pretty easy to cut boxes down to size. Let's see, here's another one. So here's a box that I keep for just some of the dates that I find. 80, 93, something like those. UCI, you interested in a different dated note? Or I can offer you up a, let's see here. Let's see what's in this one. I don't know what kind of currency you collect. We have tons of triple digit numbers. I've also collected bills by year. So like 1910 notes, 20 notes, 30s, 40. I mean, not the series of the note, but like how the note starts off, 1945. So I've got an entire collection of notes that I just did by year of the first 4 numbers. Don't ask me why. I'm weird like that sometimes. But we got triple digits, quads, quintuples, double, triple, double, repeating sequences. I tried covering all the bases of all types of collectors. This was back when I was like really selling them. You know, just different people of different types of stuff. Let's see here. 6 of a kind. Where are my star notes at? Checked, sorted. So yeah, I'll give you a choice of a star note anywhere from 2021 back to 2013 UCI. You pick something amazing, I collect it all. All right, so let's get you let's pull one out here, see if we can get something good, something decent shape. I know Tupac would probably like that one. Let's see here. See if I can find you something older in the 2013s that's indecent. 2013s, they start getting ragged out pretty quick. Let's go. How about in 2017 A? Man, that's pretty close. Look at that star. That was pretty close to being a filled star. You want to check all your star notes for a star that's filled all the way. Right there. But we'll give you 2017 A star note there, UCI. How about that? Congratulations to UCI. Pull that one out. And there. Put you in an envelope. Those will go with the other stuff I owe you. UCI, congrats to you. All right. All right, who was next up? Who was next? Who? Brown sugar. The low brown sugar. Let's see, who was next? Who was it? Ron was the next one to call out a number. Here you go, Ron. Hey. Baby shark, do. Alright, get my background music up just a little bit right there. Alright, good luck, Ron. Let's see what happens. Flip them all.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind, caught.
That tells me they're at least kind of floating around my area, but as far as a box of them, I have not seen. This is a really weird year. I mean, last year it wasn't until August until I saw a box of 2024 Lincoln sets. The last 2 boxes I picked up this week of the Lincolns, they had miscellaneous rolls of uncirculated 2023 Ds in them. So I have no clue what's going on with Loomis in my area. Weird. And then you got some people that have already had boxes and boxes and boxes of them. So, got me. I have no idea. No clue. I really don't want to have to break down and purchase some rolls. That's not my style. When, you know, I've kind of been wanting to make this whole collection of stuff I've just found in circulation. But if I have to break down and buy just a couple rolls for my personal collection, I guess I'll have to do it. Don't want to do it, but it is what it is sometimes. Alright, Ron, let's see if we got something here. FB, there's 2 consecutives, 44 and 45. They got a little fold in them. Let's see here. 1956. Nope. And I don't find very many birthday notes either that a lot of these people find. 074, 074, there's a triple digit bookend. You haven't seen any either. So, I don't know, do we have any bookend collectors out there? 074, 074. That'll be one we'll set to the side. I used to collect them. I mean, I have some stashed away. That's a fairly decent note as well. Not all folded up. So, I like the more decent notes. And ever since I wiped out my one Truist Bank of all of their stacks of uncirculated notes, I have not seen a full strap of uncirculated notes in a long time. I went through everything they had. So like that would be, you know, 095, that would be a trinary. Trinary notes kind of fell out of favor really fast. I don't know, it was weird. Like everybody was searching for them and got them, and then, you know, I sorted out a whole bunch of them to sell in lots, and it's like as fast as they came was as fast as they went. So I just kind of was like, oh well, I'll just bundle them all back up and take them to the bank, because no use hanging on to them if nobody's buying them, right? Fleabag! Hope you're doing well, Fleabag. Little kind of pop-up stream. It's about the, you know, the only free time. My wife went somewhere, nobody's around the house, I got quiet time. I was like, well, but you know, rather than just record a video, I'm gonna stream, and if people show up, they show up. If not, my heart won't be broken, because I was going through these notes and coins whether or not somebody was watching or not. So figured I'd share the experience. Oh, come on, what we got here? We got 4 of a kind 3s, but man, that note has seen better days. I don't know. Usually I would save those if it was in better condition. But I'm getting kind of picky with note condition, as far as there's another 2 more consecutive, 57, 58, 445, 445. A couple earlier right there had been 4450, 4450. That'd have been awesome. 2 notes earlier. So stuff like that, when you're going through them, you want, so you know, it's a 2021 series note. The stacks and straps are full of them, so I'll make a mental note of this. Be going, okay, I saw the 4450, so when I'm going through these other straps, I'll keep that in mind. I'll be looking for the 4450, because this whole bundle of, you know, half brick all came together. So that's something I would just toss up there. And you never know, because it might have got, you saw me shuffle them, sorting them. I could have shuffled the match to it while I was just sorting through the bills. So just something you want to keep in mind. So I toss that over there to kind of remind me. 664, 6464. You got 646464. Better condition. I may have saved that. Littlefoot. What do you think, man? Got to put the footprints in there. You likey? You likey? And then, I don't know if you want to black this out and me put something in there for you, or you let me know what's going on down here, what you want. But that's your personalized note we discussed yesterday. And there we go. So, Ron, you had the bookend note. You want that one, Ron? Triple digit bookend? Or would you rather have a star note from my pile? Let me know, my friend. Nope, I'm good. All right. I'll say that. Maybe do a giveaway with it. All right. Let's do coining around. Coining around. He ain't messing around. He's coining around. Let's see what coining around's got in his stack. Then we have Inmarsh and Judge. What's that on there? Let's see, attract this bill. Where's George already? Track me. Track me. Already, where's George? That's like 3 of them in the last several straps that we've hunted. I don't usually find that many of them. I used to sell those in lots as well. I'd save them up, get like 10 of them and sell. They were actually pretty good sellers. I couldn't believe it. People liked the Where's George notes that much. So I'd sell them in, lots of 10. And as you guys know, lots usually sell a lot quicker than just individual notes. Cut the price a little bit, makes it a little more interesting for the buyer. All right, Tupac, see what we got here. Oh, you like it? You likey? There, Littlefoot. Yeah, I thought that turned out pretty cool. I had to make I made the O's a little bit larger so this would fill out kind of like the same as that side, So the O's are a little bit bigger to kind of fill it in, but I think it worked out pretty good. And it doesn't show up well, but I kind of faded yellow to orange with once you get it in hand. And then I'll put a backing sticker on this. I usually take one of my labels like this and stick it to the back to give it a little more rigidity to the note. Write a little custom message for you there on the back. It's one of a kind deal. So from me to you, prosperity and well wishes for you and your channel, friend. All right, Tupac is already a winner with the Where's George. Let's see what else we found in here. Maybe we'll get some deuce. Never know. Tupac might get some 222s in here. See what we got. 633333. Let's go. This my friend would say. There's an 01, but it's got a little writing on it, so I'll pass. 1979, 54, 01. Nope, that ain't gonna work. How about a 666 9977? We'll toss that over there. It's kind of interesting. Got my interest factor up. Told you there'd be some 222s in there. Check it. Right there. We'll throw that over there. I know that two-pot guy, he likes those twos. LS. Nope. There's one with some pretty good substantial back to front ink transfer, as you guys know. So you have your heavier ink here on the O, the N, and the E. If you were to take that note while it was still wet, push it down onto there, that crosshatch and the curve and the E will imprint on that note. So that's what you see here is back to front ink transfer. So that is the cross of the N. You see a little bit here of the O, a little bit of the O there, little outskirts of the E. So yeah, show it off. Tell all the folks where you got it, Littlefoot. Like, my man, Namaste, hook me up. So that's your N crosshatch. That's a pretty good example of it. I mean, I like seeing this a little more full, like all the way across his face, but that's a pretty good one. We'll set that to the side. Back to front ink transfer, really common. It's just the severity of the ink transfer is what you're looking for as far as collectability. I do have some that goes all the way across, and the E is like almost full, and the O is almost full. I'll have to dig those out one day and show you guys. As far as, you know, we may do that after these straps here. I got another box below me. Show you the extreme offset miscuts and stuff that I've found over the years. See, there's another one. You can see a little bit more of the E popping through, but no O and no N, just the E. And for those of you searching notes, you also want to check. I check the reverse of the note before I stack them all back up and take them to the bank. So yeah, I'm just showing you the fronts of these, but I do check the backs, because a lot of time the front will be perfect and you could have a misprint or missing print or anything on the back. You always want to check both sides, just in case. You'd hate to pass it up and see this perfect note over here, and then here the print's halfway off and you just toss back a bill. It's probably worth a couple $100. And believe it or not, I've told the story before, but I had a box of nickels one time that I was going through, and I kept, it was a full box of, what were they, 2021s. You know, and you get kind of bored just going and looking through the same one over and over and over. But my brain was picking out something on the coin that I kept seeing repeated. I was like, what's going on here? And it started out as like, see, actually that's a 2021, but this is not an example of it. But I kept seeing like just a little mark or something right there, and I was like, what's going on? In and out, it was a die dent, but I gave it the name of Scarface, and I started finding them. This die dent mark was from here all the way down the cheek and over here into the chin. And I call it, I'll go ahead and mark this one up. I don't care. This one, I'll scratch this one. But the mark, like here, scratch that. The mark went from like there to there on the coin. So I called it a Scarface, and I actually went back and searched the entire box again. first couple I thought it was just, you know, a scratch or something. And then I started looking at them more and I went, wait a minute, that's a massive error. So I went back through and found like 30-some more of the coin, which is cool. 1951, 9917, no. Still kind of blanked out on the star note action. 119922. What's that over there? It's a triple and double double. I need to look up and see what the odds of that is. Let's check this out. So if we go to so the mycurrencycollection.com also has a little tab as well for just fancy serial numbers. Geez, that's the other display. So if we go over here, let's do fancy number checker. Let's just see how fancy this is. 1199 999422. Is that right? 119999422. Check it. So it's got a 97.4 cool rating. Yeah. Contains one triple, two pairs together. Only 0.092% of 8-digit serial numbers have that combination. 4 unique digits, 9.3%. Wow. So that's 1/100th of 1% of notes have a triple in two pairs. So that's and it's a nice, very nice note as well. So that's how you can check those on My Currency Collection, just to kind of see. But once you get up in the 99 percentile of notes, that's when you're talking fancies. 41. That's threes. 1133066. So that's three doubles. 21010323. So that'd be a future note, huh? A long time in the future. I think I'll be long gone before that becomes worth anything. 1827. Nope. 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 All right. Well, we did have. Let's see here. Did that ain't transfer. We had the 222s. You want the 222s? 222 Pac? Then you got the Where's George. You want the Where's George as well? Your call, my friend. Yeah, no star notes. You want those Tupac, or let me know, yay or nay. And then also, I go back through all these. It's a glutton for punishment, I know, but I go back through all of these bills, and I put a mark right here on them. I mark every bill right there as to if I've looked at it or not. Yeah, I bet he does too. I'll set them aside for him. But then on a weekly basis, keep them. Okay, bud. Maybe they'll go to an EOS or something there. Thank you, sir. And I'll change up the color and then make a note in my notebook as far as what date, what color I changed, just to kind of monitor how much the currency comes back around to me. You haven't gotten a Where's George yet? Oh, UCI, look here. You just got one. How about that? Congratulations. Boom. Now you got a Where's George. Hint, hint. Don't tell anybody I gave it to you. Haha. Congrats. In Marsh. There you go, UCI. You got a Where's George now. Compliments of Tupac. Coin Roll Hunter. Shh, yeah, shh, don't tell anybody. I appreciate you, Tupac, man. I've learned a lot from you. I appreciate it. I've learned the slow and go is the way to longevity in the scene, because just by the examples I've seen of, paying your way is not the way to go, because you can have 158 billion thousand subs, but 3 people watching your stream. That kind of tells the tale right there. So do it organically. I am in no hurry. I like doing streams that have some fun, have some learning, share some human experiences with those in chat. It's not all about numismatics. It's about having fun with the people you care to be around, right? Right. So, the people that are here care to be here, and I appreciate you all very much. So let's find some goodies. Still haven't found the elusive star notes yet. What's up with that? Were they all in the first batches of the... I guess? Found them all on the front end of all these notes? I have no idea. Man, these have been wadded up pretty good. They got some bends in them. Hey, but if it's a cool arse, fancy, I don't care if it's wadded. They're out there, I know. In Marsh, hopefully you're still here. Let's see what we got for you, buddy. Find something cool, hopefully. Put you in the winner column. And you know me, in Marsh, even if you're not a winner, you're going to leave a winner. Somehow, some way, we'll hook you up. Something experimental, or who knows. There's that real dark coin I was talking about the other day, the 2020. I don't know if that's an overcooked planchet or what we got going on there, but that sucker is dark. It doesn't look post-mint action. It looks like it happened. Bought some gold. Honestly, I think I've pulled boogers out that were bigger. Oh my goodness. I have never purchased gold. I have 1 gold. Back when gold wasn't a bajillion dollars an ounce. I've won some on some giveaways. All right, M. Marsh, here you go, bud. I see you're here. Let's do this. Let's find something, man. 1907. No. Bam. Look there. Ron put some mojo on it. We'll check that out. Got us a star. I guess I can go ahead and play a victory trumpet on that one, huh? Yeah, started. Finally a star. And I have a stack of star notes that, I could probably do a stream. Of just checking all these serial numbers, star notes. Need checked. That's a stack of them that need checked that I haven't even checked. But obviously these aren't all from the one single search. These are from multiple bill hunts. Let's see what's in here. We're pausing there, in Marsh. Sorry, we're gonna pause. Why did I say these were special? I don't know. Double on a double, quadruple 0. So there's an example of a replacement note. See how wide that is here, and right there. You want to check on the back. You got the same width. So that is a miscut star note. The sheet was miscut. So there's a whole row of these that are miscut like that. So yeah, definitely look for star notes that have another error on them. Because star notes are supposed to be replacement notes for those errors. What are these? Older star notes. What's in here? I like re-looking at the stuff I haven't looked at in a while. 666 star notes. Quad 1 star notes. What we got here? More 666. 666. I don't know what makes that. 007 star note. There's 5 of a kind 0 star note. Another 5 of a kind. 000 ender, 222 and miscut. There's another one Oh, thanks UCI. I need to hook you up with a nice forget me note. I don't believe I have made you one. So here you go. You got wide on that side, wide on that side. So miscut on the long and the short end. We're starting out with a heavy ink. There's a 4-4, 4-4, 7-7. There's a trinary starting out with 7s and 4s. There's another couple of 7s starting out. I used to sell those a lot in lots. James Bond 007 startups. I had one buyer that would as soon as I was listed, they would buy them. And I just started selling directly. So I'm not even going to bother putting them up on eBay anymore. If I get them, I'll just contact them. Finding the collector, you know, me as the hunter, hooking up with the person that's looking for that. So, you got to locate the person, which is hard. Because I'm just a small little YouTube channel. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, let's do this. Then Marsh's already got a star note in the pocket. Let's go. 88.99. Nope. Oldest note we found so far. Look at there. How about that one? That's pretty cool. Quad zeros. We'll throw that over there. That's a pretty cool note. That's pretty neat. 4s, 2s, 3s, 1, 4, 5. Hello, Rebecca King. How are you today? This one's kind of offset to the top, but I like that margin to be a little bit shorter. But there's one that has front to back ink transfer. So if you put that note on it and you look, that's the black from here being pushed onto that note. So that's back to front ink transfer. I mean, yeah, front to back. Sorry, my fault. Front to back. That's a lot of ink too. I mean, it's over here, here. Pretty cool. That's a nice. So these were probably some of the notes that were printed first. You see how deep and nice and dark that black is, as compared to, say, that note. You can see the difference. Yeah, it's a 2021, but just comparatively showing you guys. So when you're pulling out fine examples, you want, you know, something nice, deep and dark, nice dark accent points. That's a nicely printed note. Now, if that would have had a really good, nice dark green here, I would keep that just for how crisp the ink is. And for those of you that search a lot of bills, you know what I'm talking about. You'll just be flipping through them, and go, whoa, that one looks good. They kind of pop out at you. 9091, nope. There's another one with the ink transfer we've been talking about. Pretty common. You just want to find the one that just pops. 1, 2, 4, 6, 3. And a lot of times, if I'm searching these really fast, I'm almost not even looking at the serial numbers. I'm looking at how the pattern of the numbers pop out. Like when you see those, when you're flipping through them and you see that, you don't even have to look at the number. You just go, whoa, something's cool. Martin Bowen, my friend, how are you, sir? Just kind of blowing through. This started out as a chill out, relax stream. I had the what do I call it? The cosmic groove music going. But I tried streaming from upstairs on my laptop, and boy, the laptop did not want to cooperate. I had the whole setup up there, had everything plugged in, and tried twice, and I was like, okay, I'm going downstairs. Laptop could not handle what I demanded of it, which wasn't much. I wasn't demanding much, and I was like, man, how did I used to stream with just the laptop? And then I remember how blotchy the streams were. So, yeah, when I used to stream with just the laptop, that was crazy. There's 2006 LK. I mean, it's decent, kind of stained. We'll have to pass on that one. And as I've told you guys before, I don't know what it is that causes this third digit to always be the one that's the heavy ink. I need to dig into that. Every time you see a heavy ink, 99% of the time it is this third digit. And I don't know why. I know they've changed up the printing process of the note. Hey, here we go over there. Number 2 in the stack. Loving it. Nice. Let's see what we got going here. 2 in 1 strap. Gotta love it. I'll take 2 in 1 strap. I'll take 1 in a strap any day. 2 is just bonus time. BK note. I'll save that. That's my initials. As many of you know that have received stuff from me, you know my name. Say my name. Say my name. You know my name. BK is my initials. 098 28 128. Not 28 stuff happening there. Alright, and Mars, let's check out these star notes, man. Pretty cool find. Let's check it out. We got this one, and we got this one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a quintuple 0. That's a nice find as well. Alright, we're going to My Currency Collection. I love the bill hunts. I do too. Going to mycurrencycollection.com. But the bill hunts, man, sometimes they're hit or miss, just like the roll hunts. You know, sometimes you get hot and just bam, you're finding all these star notes and good numbers, and sometimes it's nothing and you're just trudging through. So let's go to Currency Collection there and Marsh, see what's happening. We have a 2017 and a 2017A. So we're going to go over here left. This is obviously mycurrencycollection.com, as you all know, right there. And we want to go to the Start Out Lookup tab right here. Drop down menu. We're going to do the 2017A first, which is F. F stands for the Atlanta Federal Reserve, my area. And then 0662 21224 star. Cross your fingers. Let's see if we got a good one. Yep, I say BK notes as my name is Brian. And I share the same last name with Rebecca. So I asked her way back when if she had any family in... Ooh, there we go. Check it out. Run size 500,000, and it's a regular note, which is kind of rare, as you can see by the little arrow right here. Because generally a run size of 500,000 is set to sheet note replacements. So sheet note replacements are, they take an entire sheet that has been printed and replace the whole sheet with a sheet of star notes. This is a run of 500,000 of just regular notes. You don't have to do that, Martin. I've got, I literally have probably $1,000 of them. And I've gone back through them and like picked out the bad ones. They will all be willed to my grandson, Blaine. He is another BK. My son honored me with my grandson's initials are BTK and my initials are BTK, so it was an honor that he named his first son that. So let's get a little more information on this. We got run number 3. Wow, that is crazy. See how you got 250,000 sheets, 640,000 sheets. This is really rare to see 500,000 regular. I have not seen something like that. I probably have them sitting away. Now let's check this other one. 2017 is, so we'll see here. We'll go up 2017. Check this out. And we have, that's a cool find. A 0018. Oops. A 0018. 4758. Let's check it. That's typically what you see as far as run size of 3.2 million. So there you have that. October, DC facility, October. And when you're looking at your notes, you're checking right here. Notes that just have a letter are printed in Washington, DC facility. Notes that have a FW are Fort Worth notes. So, let's check it out. 3.2 million, run number 1, printed DC, October 2018. Let's check out, we got, oh man, check this out. We should have, this would have been, it'd have been great to find this one. Holy smokes. Wow. Let's bump this up here. Check this one out. 25,000. Holy smokes. I'm going to punch in one of those numbers here. So A, let me write that down and we'll see the rarity of that one. That would have been a cool note to find. A064000001. Let's punch in that serial number. So we're here in the first one. 25,000 would have been the bomb. Holy smokes. So we're going to go up here and we're going to change this serial number. Just I want to see just where the rare scale that one pops up at. So we're going to go A064000001. Let's see where that sucker is. Wow, check out that, where that arrow is, all the way over. Dang, man, that would have been awesome. I have never found a note with an arrow that's that far over, and we were so close. Wow. I'd have been hooting and hollering on a live stream for that one. How far off were we? A001. Oh yeah, we were several 100,000 notes away, but dang, that would have been awesome to find that one. We'll find one day. Run size 25,000. I think the lowest number run size I've ever found, I want to say, is like 80,000 or 70 something. But wow, I think honestly that's the lowest number run size I've ever seen pop up. I don't know if they have one lower than that or not. Very, very cool. So in March, since we found a really, really cool one, I'm gonna hook you up with commemorate that. In March, you're gonna get this one, which isn't that note, but my friend, I'm gonna hook you up with the quadruple or quintuple zero note. You're gonna get that one with it. Thanks for being a supporter of my stream. Consistent supporter of my stream. And we're gonna get the quintuple zeros. We did how long, and haven't come close to that. And I think I would like to say I search more than the average person, but I know there's some like super dedicated fools out there that, well, I appreciate that, Marsh. I know there's some like super dedicated searchers out there that get thousands upon thousands a week to hunt. I haven't really found a bank that's willing to cooperate on that scale. So, and if I were to start doing that, I would have to like stop hunting the voyage, just dedicate myself to the wild. Judge, no peeking. That got me excited. Hey, the odds of that happening is just infinity. That's what I would have to say. They're obviously out there. There's 25,000 of them out there. By the way, those were sheets, so there's 25,000 sheets. And that was, what series was that? Was that a 2017? So those would have been sheets of 32 notes. They now print sheets in sheets of 50 with the new printing process. So those would be 25,000. Somebody multiply that. 25,000 sheets by 32 notes would be how many notes out there, and that's what makes them so rare. So somebody with a quick calculator can throw that number up while I'm sorting these. So that would be your total notes. And if you were lucky enough to, man, so 25,000 sheets, if you were lucky enough to get 250,000, that's a good one. Because I have, my son brought to me one time a bunch of $5 bills. And this is, I mean, so sheet notes, as you know. So sheets are stacked on top of each other and then cut into the stacks. He brought me several $5 bills that were all a series of sheet note, star note, $5 bills, crisp, uncirculated, like a little baby stack of them. And I was like, dang, man, thanks, appreciate it. Rare find. But yeah, those rare finds, I mean, they're fun. It's like, I don't know how many golfers we have out there, but if you're a golfer and you're not like, you know, a professional, like I'm not a professional, but if you're a golfer and you're practicing, you know, you get your slices and your ganks and all that. 8 million is the number, or 800,000? 25,000 times 32, I'd say it's more towards the 800,000. You know, you rip one to the right, you rip one to the left. You know, my one buddy called it army golf, right, left, right, left, right, left. But you're on that par 3 and you're at the tee box, and you know, you grab that 8-iron or whatever and you just swat and it feels crisp and the ball just soaring up through there, heading right to the flag, and bam, it hits, drops, maybe you got a little draw on the ball or something, and you land and you're 3 feet from the hole, 3 feet from the cup. Those shots are what keep you coming back. You know, if it was all just right, left, right, left, right, left all the time, you would quit golfing. So it's the same thing with hunting notes and coins for me, is those one of whoever knows finds. There's an older note. I could tell just by the way that looked. 88. You know, see, that's experience searching notes. I just didn't even look at it and I could tell it was an older note. But it's that one of every few so often shots that you get. It's a crisp hit and you know it's good, and bam, that keeps you coming back. It is not a web note, no. It keeps you, and web note that he's talking about on a web note, this backplate identifier here, backplate identifier number would be up here. It is not a web note. I think those are on what, 88s, 90, I capes me right now. 95s, 88s, and another series, I believe. The date escapes me. But yeah, so it's the same thing with hunting currency. You know, you find that one just bam. You know, I've found the elusive 1950D nickel. I have found those in circulation. Actually, give me 1 second and I'll go grab it. I looked at it today. Hold up 1 sec. Well, you guys know last year how many boxes of nickels I was going through. Yeah, it is very relaxing, isn't it? This is the type of find that keeps you coming back hunting for coins. I found this in a box. 1950 D. Look at that nickel. Key date. See you later, Rebecca. Thanks for stopping in. I mean, it's not absolutely perfect. It's got its marks on it, but look at that sucker. So this is akin to the awesome golf shot that, you know, I probably will never find a nickel like that again. But I did find one. So, like, along with what M. Marsh is talking about, you know, it's you won't find this one unless you're searching the coins and searching a lot of them. You know, it's just you're looking for those W quarters. Well, that W quarter might not be in the first quarter box you ever buy. You may have to go through 150 boxes to find one. It's the consistency increases your odds of finding something. So that's I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful nickel for it to be a key date. I just so happened to look at that today when I had them. And I've come across, I did a video a while back of a box of nickels that was full of 40s and 50s that looked like they were taken out of somebody's collection. I feel bad for whoever's collection no longer has those coins, but I'm thankful I found them. But that, you know, that's your one-off golf shot. Or I can remember golfing with a friend one time, and, you know, and I yanked one into the woods. I'm behind a tree and all this other stuff. He's like, haha, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm going to rip this shot and curve it around all these trees and run it up to the middle of the fairway. And I pulled it off. And I was like, that's what keeps you coming back. So you got to hunt them. As the hunters out there all know, you know, you're not just going to magically wave your hand over a box and go, okay, yeah, it's in here. I'm going to, you know, and know what roll it is. And also, if you're hunting a bunch of stuff, be aware of eye fatigue and, you know, take care of your eyes. You know, have good lighting. because I have been victim myself of hunting and then getting ready to go back and roll up coins and actually find a W in a roll that I was getting ready to roll back up. Just, being too fast, blowing through them or whatever. But that find is like a sunbird. That's a good one. I like it. See, the stream's not for kids. I've already posted that, so I like that one a lot. It's pretty funny. Really funny, actually. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna pull a name from chat. We're doing a giveaway. Let's see what we're gonna give away. We're gonna give away. What are we gonna give away? We'll give away this bookend note. We'll give away the bookend and the one, two. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh no, I got something else here. All right, let me get the chat thing going first. Boom. Reset this. Da, 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 da. Reset. Good luck, everybody. We're going active chatters. And you know what? Let's just do a quick keyword. Keyword's going to be... Keyword will be bookend. How about that? Bookend. Let's do... Okay, E-N-D. Bookend. All one word. Open to everybody. It's collected names. Show you all it's collecting the names right here. It's collecting names. We're going to start going through Marsh's stuff while that is collecting names. And we're going to give away that. And it is in very good condition, too. I think it may have been in a wallet once. Good corners. 074, 074 bookend. Nice one. And on those radar notes, if you can get a radar note that the actual block number matches the Fed Reserve Bank letter, those are like legit radars. All right, here we go. Bookend. We'll let that run. People put in some bookend. Let's see what we have for Judge. Good luck. We've had some pretty good luck so far. EC. So there's another one with the front to back ink transfer that we've seen. We explained earlier. IA. Yeah, the background music, Martin Bowen, if you're still here, is I stumbled across this today when I was just listening. Sundays I like listening to some easier stuff. I'm into I like all music, but like Sundays I listen to the Temptations and stuff like that. Some good old just smooth R&B, whatever. And then as I'm listening to that, you get your YouTube suggestions, and let's see what else we got here. Music. Oh, it's already changed up music on me, so I'll probably be dinged by YouTube on this one. But I found, let's see here, let's look it up again. That means I've been streaming more than that. I found a user by the name of Hyperdrive Sound, and he's got some Hyperdrive Boogie. Let's see here. What else does he have? So we'll check this one out. Hyperdrive Boogie. So I started listening to this stuff earlier, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do a chill out stream. And that's how it all started. It was going to be a stream of me just searching stuff, everybody relaxing, you guys chatting with each other, less interaction from me as I was flying through things, and then the old laptop didn't want to cooperate, and so after this stream I'll have to go back in there and replace all the music that's being played. Men are like flashlight, nothing happens until you turn them on. That's true. But like in the case of, my wife had the flat tire last week, and I'm like, it was 98 with a heat index of 157,000. And I was like, I really don't feel like changing a tire out in the middle of Walmart parking lot, but imagine what life would have been like if I said, I really don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah. Things wouldn't have been nice around here. So I went ahead and did it. And I left work for the second half of the day to go do that. So I'd have been sweating at work anyway. See, so there's another third digit. Yeah, Fleabag, I don't know why it is not working, but I'm gonna go ahead and just play that one for you. Anyway, because seems like I can trigger them, but you guys can't. I don't know why. So here you go.
I want my $2.
There you go. Well, I'll just go through a lot of them here. I'll hit a couple of them.
Funny how
Yeah, because I can test them and they work.
I make you laugh.
And here's one for Vinny. I know he likes this one.
Go first.
And here's one that we can all just live and enjoy. Yeah, exactly. No need to make it any shorter.
Feel like a winner. And this feeling
I
is
feel like a winner. Here we got the cat box in. Test. Oh, that one's not working. There it is. And then our good old standby, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah, see, are the dad jokes working? The dad jokes usually tend to work on their own. See, it's not even working. Yeah, there's something going on. Oh wait, one day my wife was angry at me, so I went to put up a beach towel on her shoulders and said, love it. Love it. There we go. Come on now. See if we can get something fancy in here for Judge. There's a quad 9, same seats, same third digit, heavy ink. It's weird. It's always that one. Don't know why. 43. We got 717-955-911-1119. What we got? But for those of you that are like into some easier listening, instrumental type stuff, there's an artist that I've come across. Do you think in 1982 modern commemorative Washington $50 is an okay 500 sub giveaway? Yeah, why not? Is it the clad, silver, proof, uncirculated? Which one is it? Yeah, that's fine. Anything. This is my honest opinion. You as a streamer, me as a streamer, anything that's a giveaway, you're giving away something from your collection to another, they should appreciate it no matter what it is. You know, if this is a commemorative rubber band from 1964 and I was giving it away and there was collectability with it, yeah, the winner should appreciate it. You like the dollar hunts? Yeah. It's just it's hard, it's hard to get a box of like $3,000. The banks are kind of hard to do with that. But yeah, Littlefoot. Yeah, I'm gonna reboot it. Yeah, they're not responding to each other. Yeah, I've taken my courses in IT. I agree with you. There's something, even though it says connected on my screen. Yeah, it's not the amount. It's what it is. I mean, here's a whole. So a lot of times, what I've been doing is like if I'm just searching through Lincoln Sense, anything that is like halfway decent. This is for a guy I need to send to somebody, but That's his username, One True Troy. But anything that's, because I'm not really looking at all those link consents, man, it takes so much time. I know a lot of you out there have the time to dedicate to look through them, so I was considering selling 1960s and 70s link consents by the pound. I'd like to start a question and answer giveaway. Like what? I'm open for ideas. What do you got? What do you got, UCI? Hit me. I'm open for any new ideas. Because I've still been trying to develop that little board game aspect I want to try, but I think that would take a very long stream to do. Yeah, expand on that, UCI. Let's hear it. Whoever can answer the question. I've tried that before, but then you want to like hope and pray that everybody's being honest and not Googling an answer just to win. You know, so you'd have to kind of limit. You know, I've asked it, you know, Ron's done trivia and stuff for me in the past, and I mean, some people are bam with the answer. So there's no way they could have Googled the answer when they hit, you know. Then, you know, there's some people you go, okay. There's been a 30-second pause. That's plenty of time to hit Google up or AI for an answer on something. There's a 99. Set that to the side. Oh, there's another one. 99. Yeah, I've had discussions, you know, with my wife. I grew up in the era that, you know, there were no fast ways to answers. You actually, if you wanted an answer to a legitimately hard question, you had to go research it. And now I think with the generation of my kids, I think the accessibility of information is so easy. I think it's dumbed them down a little bit. I think it's taken away the initiative or the inquisitive aspect of humanity for them. They you know, all I gotta do is Google it. All I gotta do is type it into here and I got the answer. There is no, you know, I think what it's gonna be, you know, one or two more generations past this, that, you know, they may have something that you don't even have to type it in anymore. You just think it and the answer is right in front of you. I don't know. And then it creates a society that's completely 100% relying on AI, which I guess, you know, AI creators are wanting that. I don't know. You'll have a whole bunch of things. You'll have a society that can't think for themselves and no way to logically figure out problems. Yeah, and so exactly, social skills and, you know, I don't know. Here I am preaching that, and I'm on a computer, socially interacting through electronic means. You know, I don't know. I want to come up with me and Ron and Lost and Finding. We've been, you know, in the background sometimes. I've been working on kind of like the backstage aspect, you know, of like coining around stream where, you know, everybody can get in there and put a face to a name and do all that stuff. But I've been working with some more third-party software that I would be able to bring people up live during this stream and pull you into the stream if you wanted to be a part of it, you know, but not using the Streamlab or Stream Elements type aspect of it. That's through another software, and there would be actually no limitation on how many people. You could have like the Brady Bunch thing going on here with, you know, person all the way around. You know, maybe I could be in the center and we could all just talk, but it would have to be a smaller type stream, like maybe, you know, an unpublished stream, you know, something that we would all schedule to do with each other, and everybody kind of join in. You have like maybe a smaller stream of say 15 people, to where we'd already have the subject planned out of what we were going to discuss or share, or something like that. I mean, that's something I'd like to explore as well. Bring back more of the people to people aspect of it, instead of just one person, me, streaming to a bunch, aka you, and it's kind of like a one-sided flow of information, except for with the chat that I get back. This way I think it would bring a little more interactivity to the stream as I talk with my hands, as you people listen to my hands talk. I don't know. I want to bring a little more humanity back to it, face to face, people to people, whatnot. I don't know. I'm open for any ideas you all have. So, Judge, we did have a 99, a 99, 99. So, do you want, Judge, would you like these 99s or Tupperware party without the Tupperware? You got it, Rick Stewart, right there. So, something, because in my brain, minus the people that I know what you look like, in my brain I have like a little picture of what everybody looks like. I don't know if you all do, if your brains work the same way, but I've got little pictures of, maybe he looks like this, maybe she looks like that. It would bring that aspect back to it. I don't know. It's something we could all, let's see here. See it there. I mean, I could stick my face under there and you can see what I look like. But it bring a little more people to people. That's what I want to bring into it. So, Judge, you like stream on Zoom. What's that? Yeah, Judge, do you want the $2.99s? You want to trade them in for a star nut? I'll hook you up with a star nut. Let me know. Party. And I don't know. Just, we call ourselves the Coin Family. So, just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just bring a little more bonding between the people, instead of just people showing up, chatting, blah, 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 because I'm honestly interested. 99's cool. All right. I mean, I'm interested in if y'all are healthy, if things are going good in your lives, what did you find this week? What was your hunt? I'm interested in that, because I'm interested in the hunt as well. So, I like sharing in the happiness when you all find something very cool. You're like, yeah. I mean, I like that stuff. All right. So, Judge, here you go. You get the 99s. 99s. Congrats there. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Open to everybody. Let's do I'll touch this up a little bit, but we'll give away that right there, that little halfie. And if you want this blacked out right there, I'll black that out for you. So Nightbot's been collecting names of people active in chat. I'm not going to do any sort of big announcement, because you know how some people like to jump in the stream and just try to grab a prize. So we got 11 entries. Here's the winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Judge, how about that? You get that along with your other ones, Judge. Congrats. You get that along with your other ones, Judge. Judge, would you like this to be colored black, or just leave this like it is? I'll touch up the yellow for you. You let me know. Do you want these blacked out, the letters blacked? It'll kind of look like something like that when it's all blacked out. Or do you want to leave it like this? I can even black out that eagle for you if you want. Leave it the way it is. You got it. Right there. It goes in your envelope. Judge. Bam. There you go. How about that? And I'm feeling like a nice guy. So, This one goes to the next name I pull. Thanks for the people that are here. Brown Sugar, you still here? You want it. Claim it. Brown Sugar still here. Brown Sugar. Did she hang or did she jump stream? There you go, Brown Sugar. You won that one. Thanks for hanging. Would you like leave it the way it is? You want me to black out the letters and stuff? I am mobile and listening and have to go to the shop. Run, emergency, run, run. Brown Sugar, would you like me to black these out? Black the letters out like that, or leave it like this? Congrats to you. Black out letters. You got it. Hello. Congrats. Brown Sugar. Sugar blackout. Alright, how many people we have in chat? Let's see. How many people are here? How many people are here? So, let's see. Ron's going to be leaving, so we got Brown Sugar, Martin, UCI. Let me write these down so I can keep track here. How many are here? We got Littlefoot. We got UCI, Littlefoot. Judge is here. We got Joseph Wells is here. We got Inmarsh is here. We got Fleabag. We got Fleabag, Martin. Martin, Fleabag, Inmarsh, Joseph Wells, Judge, Littlefoot, UCI, MJD is here. He is here. Fleabag, Rick Stewart is here. Yeah, everybody just type here in chat. I'm going to make a list. Let's see here. Let's see if I got enough people to do some little nickel battles or something. Alright. I'm just going to refresh the names. Keyword's going to be here. And then I'm going to put everybody on a wheel or something just so I can keep track. Here. Done. Alright, it's collecting names. Alright, here, mobile. That still counts as here. So we're going to let that roll and collect some names and see how many people we have. So I do have a nickel box right here at my feet. Speaking of feet, I need to add a couple feet to this. Boom. Add some feet to the Littlefoot note. I may darken that up just a little more, the dark areas. I may just darken that a little more, not sure. Turned out pretty cool. The font matched pretty well. Like I said, I had to make those a little larger just so it filled it in. Looks good though. Nice. Alright, how many names we got here? How many names? Let's see if it matches what I got here. Littlefoot, VMC. Yeah, everybody type the word here, because I'm going to make a list of names. And I'm going to go grab my nickel rolls. Hold up. Be right back. Alright, these are nickel rolls I'd already cut the tops off of to push them out, but we can use them as battles. Sorry, I'm eating a piece of fudge. Alright, I am going to make a list of names from what I got right here. So if you don't see your name, better type in here. What kind of markers do I use? I use let's see here. These are like my fine detail ones. They are, that is a King Art fine line. They got a bunch of different colors there. I use those on some stuff. I use, these are water-based acrylic paint by Sharpie. I use some of those. They're the paint comes out of the end of these. I use, on some things, I will use an acrylic paint. Some of these are metallic, some aren't. The acrylic paint markers you have to store in a horizontal position. You don't store these vertically. And then that's kind of, you shake and you mix the paint. I use that. I also use, I've got a full battery of professional colored pencils. These aren't your cheapy brands. These are actually really nice ones. So I've got two different, I actually made this box. I just punched holes in the box. That way I can just pull the one out I want, put it in there. Got some of those. I also use a alcohol-based type marker that has two different tips on it. You can get a lot of different effects with these. These you can actually blend. You can actually use these and blend the colors, which I find unique. You can get a lot of different crazy stuff going with these. So you got that. You know, a lot of markers won't blend. These will. You go like that. Then you can take the blending marker tool / marker tool, and now you have your two colors here. It'll actually fade them both in together to make a different color. So you can fade out the pink, and then with this same one you can draw the color out to the edges if you want to keep drawing the color out. Creativity is pretty much your limitation on those. I also use a series of different types of paint. I got your basic single color acrylic paints, but I also use several. So this is those are color shift type paint that I'll use. They're called Dragonfly Glaze. As you can see, that's what they do. Kind of what they look like. I'll add that to some notes. There's another color shift type paint I use. There's another color shift paint. More of those different types of glaze. Kind of a red hue and a green hue. Then I've got an entire box of every single different Sharpie color you can think of over there. So yeah, a hodgepodge mix of everything there, UCI. Paint. Oh, and I also have, what else do I use? These are kind of a unique type of, these are actually called gel. These are crazy unique to use. It's kind of like a pastel mixed with a marker, mixed with a, they're really weird. I use those on some stuff. I've got some twin tip paint type brushes. These are markers that will actually, you can use them like a paintbrush. So the tip on these actually bends like a paintbrush. So you can go fat, you can go fine. So use those on a lot of stuff. These blend very well too. And just a butt ton of different Sharpies, different colors. So does that answer your question? So any of the forget-me-notes or anything you get is a combination of all that stuff. So, all right. We are going to copy all entries. Yes. Now let's do this. Wheel of names. Yes. Delete this. All right, so here we go. We already have all the names that I grabbed. There you go. That's the people we're going to use. Oy, 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 bay. So, here we go. Good luck, everybody. John Chum. And Marsh. We're just pulling two out. Put your name on it. Chum against Marsh. Alright, Chum and Marsh. Here we go. Joseph Wells. And VMC. Joseph Wells, VMC. Here we go. You two are up. Writing the names down. Wells, VMC. Alright, that's match 2. Here we go. Littlefoot. And Rick Stewart. You'll be facing off. Next 2. So, Littlefoot. And Stewart. It'll be the next match. Alright, here we go. Fleabag. And Brown Sugar. Right. Next up, see we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ron Pierce. Against Quentin Around. Right. Next up. Oops. Martin. And Judge. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we'll make these extra work, extra to go. And MJD takes on me, unless somebody else has shown up. VMC, I did not see VMC's. Okay, VMC is there. Fleabag, Brown Sugar. Rick Stewart is there. Anybody's name I missed? John Chum's in. I don't think so. I think everybody's here got their name pulled. UCI, you'll face MGD. Go. Anybody else? Joseph Wells, yep, already got him. Fleabag, UCI. Quentin around, Marsh is there. I think we got everybody, right? Yeah, I think everybody's there. All right. I think we got everybody. All right. We'll just have to make it work because I know this is odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 doesn't break down. We'll figure out something. We always do. All right. You're next. You. Pointing around. GD, VCI. Alright, Fleabag. What do we got here? Alright, we'll just do Martin and Judge. You're the first two I'm pulling out. So good luck. Jason Noda, we'll hook her up. She can be in here too. Jason Noda, you'll face me. That may even out our things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, that will even it out. There we go, Jason Noda. Alright, battles are closed now. Jason Noda and me. Go. Now we are at an even. Alright. So Martin and Judge. I'm pulling out 40s, 50s, key dates, anything like that. Some obvious die chips. Anything with discrepancy, we put it up to chat, and chat will decide if it's an error or not. That way the consensus falls on them and not me. All right, Martin, up first against Judge. Good luck. Martin's rolls. These are the infamous Namaste nickel mini battles. I may break it down. Let's see here. It's usually winner takes all. I think we might just keep it that way. Let's see. All right, people. Good luck, Martin. See who moves on between you and Judge. Like I said, we're just looking for any die chip errors. 40s, 30s, they all count as a point. Looking for die chips like this one that will show in a minute. Just got a die chip right here on the... Oops. You can see a die chip on the dome right there. So that's one. We're looking for stuff like that. Any crazy dark planchets or, you know, something obviously mint error. That's what we're looking for as far as scoring. 72s. Typically in the rolls, we've found what a score of 1 to 2 usually will get you going to the next round. There have been exceptions to that. Chew has been pretty lucky with these, getting them. And let me get my loop here. Nope, that is a bag mark. On all the coins, definitely 2020, 21, 22, 23. you definitely want to look, as I'm about to say something, and there's one right there. You definitely want to look right here on this side of the building. It's typically where I find most of my airs. You can see you can see a very early stage, die chip right there. See that little lump? Boom, that showed up really good right there, actually. So that's a point. But on your nickels, that's generally most of the time you're going to find the die chips will be on that side of the building. So Martin got 2. Very nice. 1, 2. Judge, see if you can beat a 2. Hope you're doing well today, Janelle. Glad you joined us. There's a different color one. Is that a? It is not. It fooled me. It had the color of a war nickel. Kind of had that color. So Judge has to beat 2. Lay down here a little better on me. I utilize a setup of like different angles of lights. The light that's right here on my left is kind of like off of my left shoulder, so I can hold a coin like this and get the reflection coming down on the coin. Then I have another one probably at my 2 o'clock that, you know, when I roll the coin this way, because that's the light you see from the light over here. And then I have another one pointed right up that way. That's the light you get off that one. So when you roll the coin, die chips will show up easier for me from the 3 different lights. Kind of a technique I've just developed along the way, I guess. It helps me when I roll it like that. I can look at all the main parts of the coin, roll it like that, and just see if there's something here, something here, something here. It makes it a little bit more efficient and quicker as far as identifying die chip location or die chips on the coins. Then you'll see I try to flip 3 or 4 at the same time to help the whole process go along, as I'm kind of pushing them like that. So when I do this, I'm looking at all those faces, then I just go boom and I flip them. Kind of helps. 4 at a time, 2 at a time. I don't know, just to each their own. You guys develop your own way of hunting. There's a 2024 all marked up in the fields, but it's a 2024, and the 2024s do have errors. So you know, just because they're newer doesn't mean they don't have errors. 2023D with a big fat thumbprint on it. Alright, chat, I'm gonna leave this one up to you. Are we calling this 2023 a dark planchet or not? Hold on. Get it in there. What do you think, chat? Dark planchet? Yay or nay? I'm saying yes. You can see the color difference. That's a 2024 and a 2023. No, there's a no, there's a yes. I'm talking about the color. The 2023Ds, there's a lot of them that look like they've been cooked a little longer in the oven. Not a fan of the dark planchet maybes. All right, we're calling that one a no. Not a consensus there with the chat. So we're calling that a no. Sorry there, Judge. And Martin is the winner with 2. Congrats, Martin. You move on. Sorry, Judge. Martin is the winner. He moves on. Martin. We have Fleabag, Brown Sugar. You're up next. Good luck to both of you. Fleabag. These are this is my custom pusher coiner outer tool. One of a kind, obviously. Ooh, there's a dark one right there. What do we got? 2000. All right, Fleabag. Not a Fleabag. Not a fan of the dark planchet. You heard it here first, folks. Not a fan. 23D. Any special reason you're not a fan, Fleabag, or just, you know, what did the dark planchet do to you? Just not a fan. That looks like something. What we got there? Ooh, stay. Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. There's a big dye chip right there. On the bottom part of the dome. Big old chip. One. Big chip. Man, when I ran upstairs, I ate like 2 pieces of fudge, and now my stomach's like hurting. Shouldn't have ate those. Totally regretting that now. But it's kind of hard to run through the kitchen, and that big thing of fudge is sitting there. And I'm like, oh, you know, I can tell myself all I want. I didn't see that fudge sitting there. I don't need a piece of that. I tried. I tried my best to walk past it. Didn't work. Another 2024. All right, Fleabag, you got one. Brown sugar. You are up. Here we go. Gut bomb. You got that right. that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm like, oh. Like, dang, man, I shouldn't have ate that. And man, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I ate 3 pieces. That's, you know, I was playing it off like, yeah, I ate 1. No, I ate 3. That's on me. That's totally on me. Oh well. And you know what? I might even eat another one next time I go up. I don't know. It's Sunday. Will it be enough? I don't know, Fleabag. 1. We'll see. Brown sugar, good luck. Need to beat a 1. Ooh, look at that, like little dark dirt booger in his nose. Ooh. 14. Oh, no. That one's got crayon or something on it. 2019s, you want to look for a DDR in the doorway. They have to be pretty nice specimens to actually find that. 623P, pretty nice. Nope. Dum. Looking pretty good so far, Fleabag. There might be something right here. Let's see. Nope, that's gouge. Still looking good. 2015. 23D. Nothing. Still holding strong. What we got there? Maybe something right there. All right, we're tied. Dye chips in the dome. Right. Let's see here. Not showing up very well. Right there and right there. Here's some chips. So we're tied 1-1. About 6 more to go. Nice looking 24. They got something in the top here. Let's see. Brown sugar, you are moving on. There is a dye chip right there on the edge of the dome. 2024. Right at the bottom. You can barely see it. It's like right here. There you can a little bit. Congrats. Brown sugar moves on. got it right at the end. Nice. Very nice. We'll come back at the end. Sugar. We have Littlefoot. And Rick Stewart, you're up next. After that, we'll have Joseph Wells, VMC. You two will face off. Then we got Chum and Marsh. And then we have Ron coining around. MJD, UCI, and then Janelle, and me. Unless somebody pops in and takes my place. Up next, Littlefoot. Good luck. See what we got for Littlefoot. Hopefully something good. Good luck. Yeah, we got something right off the bat. Let's see here. Nice die chip, top of the dome on a 23p. You got one. First coin. First coin. But as we've seen, a 1 may not hold up. Then on these older coins, if I was like searching them for myself, I like to see at least a little, some detail in, like say you can still see the columns, and you can still make out kind of like your roof line right here. This would be a borderline keeper. I mean, if you could make out the detail of the doorway right there, it would definitely be a keeper for my book. Obviously, it's a 63. Decent condition. But as far as my personal collection, I wouldn't keep this one because I've got better ones. But, you know, that may be a good starter coin for someone just starting out their collection. But that's kind of how I grade them. And then on the obverse, I look at... on the obverse, I look at the detail right here, this front hairline. How detailed of a separation is that from the forehead that I can make out? Any of the definition of the hairs right through here. Your high points right here by the ear. How much definition's left? The cheek area. You know, that's how. And then I also judge them by how clean the fields are. You know, the fields got to be pretty clean. But I'm a little strict on them because, you know, my collection has a little bit nicer coins where I've been looking at for so long. So say this was another 60, you can actually start to see the detail of the doorways. See it right there? So this would be a step better than that last one that I showed you. You can just make out the doors. And then you can also see a little more definition, how you can actually see the front. You can actually see the line of that triangle. So that coin is like one step better than the last one I showed you. And then each progression of getting better and better, you'd want finer and finer definition of, until you're at the point of grading with full steps or not. You know, that's one of your initial ones. But the older coins with the weaker strikes are hard to find the full step designation on them. So, for those of you that wanted a quick lesson on grading nickels really quick. See, I mean, you can tell that's a nicer coin. Got the full definition of the triangle. You can see the full triangle above the door. You can also see the secondary triangle below that on the main door. Those are the things you're looking for. When you're judging full steps or not, you're looking for any type of break between the lines of the steps. So back here you go, oh yeah, full steps, and it depends on who's grading it as well. See how those look like full steps, but as you get closer and closer, there's little nick marks on those lower steps right there towards the left-hand side that breaks the continuity of those lines. But back here, that looks like a full step coin. Closer and closer and closer. You'll see it. It's all in the angle. This is why you gotta be careful when you buy coins just based on a picture. Because you can see right there how I just manipulated the angle of the coin. I went from full steps, no marks, and right there you can see that blink on the bottom. You got to look at that stuff. That's why generally I won't buy a coin unless I can look at it have it in my hands, or if it's from a trusted source that you know or have done business with or trust them, or they have a really good return policy. I'll buy coins, you know, for people that I know, no questions asked, they will take the coin back if I'm not happy with it. Those are the ones you want to do business with. Muddled. That's all it takes is getting burned once, man. Leaves a real bad taste in your mouth. And those are the bad tastes like that are the ones that teach you the hardest lessons, though. So, buyer beware. Be smart, people. I don't want anybody getting burned. Looks like we just have the one so far. Big old gouge. Alright, we got one. We got one, little foot. 1 point. 1 point. 1 point and 2 good lessons. 1 point, 2 good lessons. Well, yeah, that's the whole point. You see, I like to have fun, but I want you guys to learn something, even if it's from my own personal mistakes. As long as somebody learns something from it, and it helps somebody out there not getting burned by another dealer or something. You know, even, you know, I've been burned before. But when I'm quickly going through them and just basing a coin, trying to judge it against another one, the nickels, that's the points highlights I'm showing you. That's how I look at them. You know, step number one, I go like that and I roll it. If it doesn't have a clean field, I don't care how nice the coin is, I won't keep it. Because the coin graders themselves, that's the first, I mean, that's like over half the grade is how clean the fields are. And then they go and start nitpicking the details. You know, how many, because you can have, on a coin, you can have bag marks and little marks, like right there by his cheek. You can have stuff like that, you know, X amount of them, and then you get reduced a grade. But the field on there is not clean enough. You can see where a coin has rubbed it right there. It's not clean enough to be considered, you know, a keeper or whatever. You know, compare that field. These are both 2024s. See the difference in the field on them? Look how clean that one is. Look at the marks on that one. Both of them 2024s. That's what you're looking for. A really clean field on this one. Then usually if it's really nice here, I flip it over, there's something wrong with it. But that's circulated currency. That's why I buy uncirculated sets. A lot of people make up their coin collections just by cutting coins out of uncirculated sets, because they are not circulated. But I have found uncirculated sets with bag marks and stuff, contact marks on the coins. The more you look at them, the more comfortable you'll be personally grading a coin by eye. A good book I picked up along the way was it's actually upstairs where I was reading it. The standards, American, the standards for coin grading, and they give it's a colorized book, you know, got color pictures, and they give examples of what you're looking for as far as grading a coin. Because if you stay in this long enough, you know, you're always going to want to keep progressing what's in your own collection, and the better you go, the more it's going to cost. So you better be comfy. Well, dang it. Was that the one? So we're tied up 1-1. Yeah, it is in Marsh, and but I guess, I don't know, the more you do it, the easier it gets, I guess, or, you know, the more comfy you get with doing it. I think the confidence factor is the most of it. You know, how confidently you can look at a coin. Let's see, random number generator. That's where we're going. All right, we're picking a number between 1 and 20. All right, so I just use a random number generator, and here's what it looks like. So Littlefoot, you're going to guess a number between 1 and 20. And it doesn't matter. It's who's up closest, plus or minus. It's no over or under. So it's whoever guesses one way or the other. So Littlefoot, what's your guess? Oh yeah, I've sharpened plenty of chainsaw blades, Fleabag. Plenty. That's a fine art, doing that. Littlefoot 1 to 20, and then Rick Stewart 1 to 20. Heads or tails? Yeah, we can do heads or tails. Let's do that. Hold up. Flip a coin. All right, Littlefoot, heads or tails? It is not hard, Fleabag. They make like a little, I don't know, it's like a little jig or adapter. Yeah, you need the right size file, and until you get comfortable doing it freehand, they make a little contraption that kind of snaps over the chain, and it sets your file at the exact right angle and kind of keeps it in place. Yeah, like an alignment tool, yep. And it will keep you in the exact spot you need to be to file the chain. So when I was first doing it, I'd mark the top of the chain with a black marker, and then you go all the way down, you know, with everything facing to the right, and then you go back through with all the links facing to the left. Is Littlefoot here? If Littlefoot's not here, Rick Stewart will automatically advance. Rick Stewart's here. We're waiting on heads or tails. Littlefoot here. Littlefoot's not here. Calling Littlefoot. We've got 30 seconds. sure those are lubricated. Always keep the right tension on the chain. That helps. Pause every now and then, take the cover off, and dig out the crap that's built up in there. Every little bit counts. Man, I picked a couple years ago. I picked up an electric pole saw. It has like the chainsaw, the little electric chainsaw that hooks to the pole. Man, that sucker will cut some wood. Joseph Wells, here we go. It will eat through the wood. Has a little reservoir that you just pour the oil in. I like it. It's quick. You know, I don't have to pull out the big chainsaw and get it ready. It's just very good for the pruning, and plus I have all those extended pull saws and pruners. Keep the property tamed and at bay. Down here in the south we have that invasive vine called kudzu that covers everything. Covers everything, attacks everything if you don't keep it cut back. I don't know actually how far. I know it's up in Tennessee. I don't know how far much north it goes of that. Maybe into Virginia. But it was, and then I don't know. Martin, do they have a lot of invasive? Yeah, buy the good stuff. Do they have a lot of invasive vine type plant life there in Texas? I don't think it would be. I mean, I've traveled out that way, like Louisiana, Mississippi. They have it. I just don't know once you get like past the Mississippi River if you got a lot of that invasive vines or not. Not all kudzus. I mean, and literally some of that stuff, no lie, will grow more than a foot and a half a day if the conditions are right. Nope, thought I had something there. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, you probably like almost watch it grow. And because I was up there clearing some of my grandfather's property years ago, and some of those vines, all briars, yeah. Some of those vines that had been growing for years, no lie, the base of them were like that. I mean, a good 6 inches in diameter of these big, massive vines that grow up the trees, and they grow and wrap around the tree. And we had 0 on that one, Joseph Wells. That it will grow around the tree and choke it out. BMC. And so I started clearing some of his property, going down there with a machete and everything, and man, I whacked into one of those big bases. It trickled water because it was so high in the tree. It trickled water out of it for 4.5 days. How much water was up in the vine, you know, going to the top. And when I was first clearing my property out back here, I hooked my truck. You know, I thought it was just like one little batch of vines. I hooked my truck up to it, chain and everything, start ripping it down. It took out half the canopy where this stuff had grown so high up in there and choked out everything because it was all green. You thought it was actually leaves of the trees. No, it was the vines. And in the summertime, you got to go back there 2 or 3 times during the summer to keep them from choking out all your other stuff. It's brutal here in the south. Up north, I used to live up there. They didn't have any vines or anything like that. The only thing is you had to deal with snow up there. I'd rather deal with vines than snow. 2015. Uh-oh, we're hitting a dead spot in these rolls. Looks like one maybe. Nope. Bag mark. Still haven't found I was just gonna say, still haven't found a 40s or 50s. There's one right there. 41. BMC, you win and move on, brother. Finish up the rest of these, see what we got. BMC moves on. Alright. Congrats, BMC. Next down. John Chum, Marsh. Up next. John Chum. Stay away from there. Alright, John Chum, there we go. Finally found a 40, so you gotta like that. 64, no D. 64 Ds, I look for the repunchment mark. I know there's a bunch of other ones. I really just don't, for the sake of time, I don't dig in past 64D mark. Here's a 63. I don't know if any of y'all ever caught one of Southern Metal's live streams. See how fast he blows through nickels. It's a nice 24 I'll throw in there. That's a nice looking one. He flies through nickels. You know, I think he's just looking for dates and that's it. Or like pause, you know, you see Hudson and Rhett flying through those halves. I know they're just looking for silver. He had nothing on that except for that nice 24. That may be a tiebreaker if this is a 0. But some of those errors on the $half are worth more than the silver ones themselves. So, yeah, snow's fun, VMC, if it's, you know, white and freshly fallen and you're on a sled, but me, I'd rather hunt, damn, I got a love for both. Like if I had to say, call it right now, one or the other for the rest of my hunting career, I would choose coins. It's just because there's more varieties and variations and stuff to look for. More of a potential for finds of treasure. Now we're not talking blizzard, but yeah, I lived in Ohio for a long time, Benny. Not much further north from where you are, and snow was fine. It just when that snow turned into the gray crud that sat on the side of the road for 6 months. You know, and you're just every day you wake up and you're trudging, you know, I had to walk to school and all that crap. I just, no thanks. I got to the point I just left. No thanks. But as far as living in it, it's always easier to get warmer than it is to cool down. So there, you know, that is kind of a trade-off. There's only so many clothes you can take off. You're like, ugh. To try to cool off. Then you're jumping in water or E5. Come on. Something happening there. What do we got? Very minute chip on the top of that dome. But that's all you're gonna need. Oh, there's another one, I think. Oh. ISO 6, clean field. So that's what catches my eye first, like a clean field on a coin. That's why they base so much of the grade on it. Alright, in Marsh, you advance with a 1. In Marsh gets a 1. Ron, pointing around. Right, we're up next. I gotta have enough to do second. Yeah, I got one other box. Ron, pointing around. Here we go. These are, which ones are these? Oh, those are the ones I was comparing. All right, Ron, good luck. Oh, that's fine. Shit, I've been on a while. Didn't even realize it. All right, we'll still do his rolls. Let's do it. Uh-oh, what do we got there? 1953. There's one for you, Ron. That one popped right out. Yeah, we'll get to wrapping it up then. I didn't realize it was that late. I need to like speed hunt some of these, get these going. We can always continue this since I got it written down. We'll finish out this first round. So we got Ron going around NJD and UCI, and then Janelle and me. We'll finish that round one and continue later. I did not realize, time got away from me. I didn't realize it was past 7 o'clock. Time flies when you're just chit-chatting, hanging out. Which was the whole purpose of the stream anyway, just to hang out with you guys. You know, more we talk, more we get to know each other, more fun it is. All right, you had the one, Ron. 53. Pointing around. Where are you at? Right there. What is that rusty piece of junk there? What's that? 2000D. Rusty. Once I bought a car a while back. I was going to use for parts and started. Uh-oh. Got a 1946. Tied up 1-to-1. Uh-oh. I was cleaning it out and found $16 worth of change in one vehicle. Crazy. Have whoever's out there in chat, have any of y'all ever like sat and listened to an ebook? Or I guess that's what they call them, audio ebooks that someone is reading. You ever taken the time to do that? Reason I bring it up, yesterday I was watching some stuff on my Amazon Prime. And you know, like when it finishes, it gives you suggestions of, oh, you may also like this and this other stuff. All right, we're tied 1-to-1. We're going to flip the coin. And so I click on it, thinking it was supposed to be something about, you know, in the future, a comet impact the Earth and what happens. And Ron, you want heads or tails? I listen to Namaste, forgive me. Very funny, very funny. I do have some stories every now and then, but he's calling tails. All right, let's go to our heads, tails. Go back away from the timer.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High end.
Catastrophic events happen, you know, all the coastal lying areas get wiped out by tsunamis, blah blah blah, chain reaction, volcanoes and stuff like that, and it creates a winter-like environment where they haven't seen the sun in 7 years. And within this environment and the lack of, it's kind of like sci-fi, I guess, with the lack of the sun, it affects people in certain ways, and you know that they kind of mutate and all this other stuff. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but it was actually kind of entertaining. So, for those of you that like to listen, it's almost like listening to a movie without watching it. It's weird. Alright, this is MJD. You're up against UCI right there. MJD, let me change this so you can see what I'm doing. There you go, MJD against UCI right there. Oy, excuse me. I'm starting to get tired. That fudge buzz is wearing off. But I haven't made it all the way through the story. I think I still got like an hour and a half left that I may listen to later. I tried listening to it as I laid down last night, and next thing you know, I fell asleep. Fell asleep and then woke back up and went, oh dang, I missed the sounds like Vermont, this. But yeah, but it was a continuous dark gray that they hadn't seen the sun. And you know, it has like a vampire aspect to it, I don't know, a paranormal type. I don't know, it was different. But it was what I enjoyed about it was how very well it was made, as far as, because I had it going over my stereo system. Very well acted out as far as the actors and their voice inflections and stuff like that, and the all the background noise and effects. It really, I mean, professionally done. It was really good. It wasn't just like somebody reading from a book and, you know, everybody doing their part from the book. It was better than that. So if anybody's interested, you can go look up let's see here, I can pull it up. Impact Winter, I believe it was. And I only started listening to it because it I was just looking, oh, what happened? Okay. Because it had almost 5-star rating, and I was like, okay, this has got to be kind of good for it to be rated 5 stars. This show right here, Impact Winter, Audible series. It was I gotta give it a high rating. There you go, so you can read it. I gotta give it a high rating just for how well it was put together. So that's what I started listening to. 4 hours and 58 minutes. And to continue watching, there is no watching. It just had like a little background something screensaver thing. There was no watching to it. So you could do without the watch part. You could do without that. We already established Littlefoot's not here, right? Yeah, somebody has one on here. All these people. Well, I gotta refresh it. This wasn't Jenna. This was on the. I gotta change it. That was based on here. Back here. There we go. All right, I'm flipping it to active chatters, and then I'll be pulling some names from active chat. Well, there we go. Next. Let that collect some names. There we go. Had it still on here. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Don't give us a dud roll. 2024. Nope. Yeah, but I'll probably listen to that here in a little while. Do something to eat. I'm kind of craving a hamburger for some reason. If anybody would like to go grab me a hamburger and drop it off, I would really appreciate that. I'd almost be willing to give up like one of my custom dollars for that. I know none of you live close enough to me, but I would almost be willing to give this up for a really nice juicy hamburger. With some hot french fries. How fast can you make that trip from Texas, Martin? We had zero MJD. UCI. Oh yeah, what do we got as far as music? I don't even know what music's on. Oh, I'm more than feel hungry. I'm ready to chow down. I'm ready to chow down. Judge is back. Hi, Judge. How are you? We're almost finished with our round 1, and then I'm gonna call it. I'm even gonna give Janelle the win, straight up. After this, she'll advance to the next round just like that for just being Janelle. How about that, Jason Oda? Dude, Jason Oda rocks. Very nice lady. Here we go. Bing, 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 bing. We got a 57. UCI, you advance. And 40. Right after that 57. Wow. Back to back. Nice. Got a 2 for winner, chicken dinner. Oh, I guess I could do that. We can pop winner since those aren't working. Let's go here. I'll just do victory trumpet. Round 2. Alright, so here's what we got. UCI. And then Janelle Sonoda, you were going straight over. I'm crossing me out. Alright, so our next round will be, our next stream, I say, will be Martin against Brown Sugar. And then Rick Stewart against VMC. Then we got Marsh against Ron. UCI against Jason Oda. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So this is going to be our next round. I will try my very best to be on tomorrow. I get off work at 6 p.m. So tomorrow maybe 6:30 to 7. And you don't have to be present. You guys are already in. So for those of you that have conflicting schedules with this, you don't have to be present. You're already in. I will not change your names from this. This is locked. So if you win, you're going to move on. So this will go to there. This will go to there. And then those will go to there. I will not change your names. So that is set. Sound good? Sound good. You are in. No name changing. Those are in. And like I said, I will, even if I feel crappy tomorrow, I'll try to stream. I don't think it's supposed to be too hot. And this is our winds so far. This is what we got so far, is coming to the winter right there. I'll just go and put those in there. I've tossed in a couple 2024s in there that I thought were pretty nice. I'm going to, believe it or not, my butt is probably going to hop in my truck and go into town and get myself a hamburger. I've like mentally convinced myself I want a hamburger and some hot ass french fries. So. Oh, show me. Been wearing my visor. Much love, peeps. Thanks for being part of my stream. Oi, wrong way. Alright, camera's hurting out on me. Hey, there we go. Love y'all. 13.3 hour. Oh, a pile of fries. Yes, sir. A pile of fries. I don't know if any of you have a place called Cookout. I got a place called Cookout near me. It's kind of a, not really, I guess it's fast food, but they have a thing called the Big Tray where you can get your burger, a couple of sides, and a milkshake for like $6.50. That's good stuff. All right. I'll leave you guys with a little something from this dude, and be on the lookout tomorrow for a pop-up, and we'll finish this mini battle. Much love. Be safe. Be nice to one another. You know, as we've all talked about before, there's not much time. Savor every moment you have with every person all the time, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Love y'all. Here we go. Some baby baby. Oh, baby, 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 baby. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very, 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 very much. Jump on over to Coin and Round if you already don't have them on a second screen. Let's do the countdown. Good night. I'm going to put on some shoes, some socks, jump in my truck. Fire it up. Oh man, what's it doing? That's not what I wanted. There we go. Golly. Alright, here we go. Give me a juicy burger, some cheese, maybe some bacon. I deserve bacon, right? I've been a good boy. I deserve bacon. Heck yeah, I'm gonna enjoy Judge. You know that's right. Bacon. Bacon makes it slices, makes it 3 times better. Night.